whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Verdcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus network satellite.
This is
The Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. This, Thursday now? Thursday live edition here, broadcasting live from beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And Chelsea, you here with us?
I am indeed.
Yay! And we got Aria too?
No, she's a little
Still
bit late.
no Aria. Oh, well. So we've got some interesting stories that we're going to be covering today. To start off, hey, the death toll is up to 62. Yay.
Oh, that sucks.
Let's see. Who was it? This is from let's see here, from the AP. Post-dated, updated May 17th, May 14th, Ivanka Trump, blah, 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 59 victims. Nope. All right. Yes. Yeah, Layla Al-Anwar Ghandour, 8 months. Ez Eldin Musa Mohammed Al-Samak, 14. Wissal Fadl Ezrat Al-Sheikh Khalil, 15. I mean, it's just a list of teenagers. The first 10 people killed. Then, just goes up from there. You've got 3 more now that are listed as, that are still unidentified. You have 75 wounded in serious condition, an additional 54 in critical condition. Anonymous medical, sources state that the little girl who died, she died possibly of congenital heart failure.
The baby?
Yes.
Okay.
So sad. Anyway, but the first story I wanted to cover tonight actually comes from Boston. This is kind of funny. I haven't got to see the video of it yet. The story just coming across my desk just now, saying that a homeless man in Boston was hungry, so he went to Burger King one morning. In 2015, well, I mean, it's 2018. Why are we having a talk? Oh, okay, because of a lawsuit. Instead of breakfast, he got a ride to the police station and more than 3 months in jail after he was wrongly accused of using counterfeit cash.
Was he? Why? Why?
I don't know. It says Ellis is suing the fast food giant and franchisee for nearly $1 million, saying he was discriminated against because of his appearance. The lawsuit comes on the heels of recent cases of police being called on black people that have been sparked uproar and claims of racial profiling. Ellis's attorney said the cashier likely wouldn't have questioned if the money was real if a white man in a suit had handed him the same bill.
Well, okay, that's obvious, but you should make a better comparison to a white man who was also homeless. And I still believe that the comparison holds then. If it were a white man who was homeless, then it might be less likely. But it's very, very different to compare like a suit to a little homeless person, right?
For real.
Because I mean, it's a lot more of a logical assumption to say, oh, this person's homeless. They maybe don't have this actual kind of cash. Although realistically, if it's Burger King, the guy probably handed him like a $5, right? It's not like he's like, here's my fake $100 bill. So come on, let's be a little bit realistic here.
A person like me would have gotten an apology, but a person like Emery somehow. Oh wait. Hold on. It says, even if he did, the cashier probably would have apologized and said he couldn't accept the cash instead of calling police, according to his attorney, Justin Dreschler. A person like me would have gotten an apology, but a person like Emery somehow finds his way in handcuffs for trying to pay for his breakfast with real money, says Dreschler, who's white. Burger King.
Okay, but how does real money get mistaken for fake money exactly? I mean, actually, I don't like know how this works. Because I know that they like check on $100 bills. They'll always hold it up to the light and whatever. I mean, I've paid for things like that.
One of them is old bills. So like if you've broken into somebody's house and grabbed like their collection of old money.
Okay, first of all, nobody has a collection of old money. That is not a real thing.
Yes, they do. There's lots of people. My sister's ex-husband has a collection of old money.
What is that?
My mom has a collection of old money. She buys.
Oh! I see what you're saying. Like actually collecting it on purpose, not just like money that you've never used for 20 years.
Well, yeah, they're like red letter $5 bills. If you've ever seen those kind of things.
Aren't those still like legal tender though?
They are.
No matter how old they are.
They are, but they don't pass the magic marker test.
Oh.
That magic marker that they use on $20 bill and $50 bill and $100 bills, it doesn't pass that, and they feel different. So people will just refuse them because of that. They'll just, I won't take it.
So if you have those, you either keep them as
especially young people behind the counter, people who are under the age of 20 will refuse it because they've never seen anything like that before in their entire life. Somebody our age has seen a red letter $5 bill, particularly if you're in the Liberty community, because currency is such a big,
obviously
issue in our circles. But the average uninformed, doofus working at McDonald's or Burger King has never seen a red letter. They don't even know that they exist. I've had people see a $20 bill with a small face on it and tell me that they didn't think it was real because they'd never seen one in their life that they could remember.
Interesting.
My daughter has never seen a $20 bill with a small face that she remembers. She's 19. Yes, we are that old. Says
you are not that old.
A Burger King corporation spokesperson said that the company doesn't tolerate discrimination of any kind, but can't comment on the specifics of the case. The company said the franchisee is responsible for employee training and handling legal matters about that particular location. Two Guys Foods Incorporated, the franchisee, didn't immediately return a phone message on Wednesday. A number for the cashier, who's also named in the complaint, couldn't be found in public records and wasn't immediately clear if he has a lawyer. Ellis's lawsuit, which was first reported by digital legal news service Law 360, was filed this week in Suffolk Superior Court. He's seeking $950,000 in damages. So,
where does
Okay, I know I missed the story, but what happened?
All right,
Can you give me like a really quick summary?
Basically,
we
a homeless
will
guy
while
went
we're
into a
off the
Burger
air,
King.
unfortunately, because it's time for us to go do that.
Oh, okay.
2004, her husband of 45
But yeah, we'll be back here in just a moment here on the Call to Freedom, here on
Get
LRN.FM.
up every day to go do something. Yeah, I had to do something to get out of the house.
Joyce still has her original name tag, and Friday set up a small display of things she's collected over the years.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Free Talk Live.
I think you guys should be encouraging people to drop the drugs, drop the alcohol, and live a straight life.
Why?
That's freedom.
Well,
that is freedom.
How can you say? I mean, maybe it's freedom for you, but what if I enjoy altering my consciousness?
Well, I think it's sad.
Why?
It's a sad existence when people have to be addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Oh, I'm not addicted.
Now you're assuming addiction.
Alcohol, we're talking about marijuana, we're talking about drug use in general.
What about
It's
caffeine?
A sad
Are we talking about
state to
caffeine?
be in. I'm talking about something that what you just said is mind-altering.
So caffeine certainly
if you
is.
eat a chocolate candy bar, if you have a chocolate candy bar and there's caffeine in it, it doesn't get you high.
Oh,
you know what the difference
well, wait a
is.
minute. Christy, I'm sensitive to caffeine, and I can tell you 2 Diet Cokes will make me a very angry man.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Disclaimer. When I die, I want to be put into orbit around Earth in a flying kick position. This is my dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. This is my dream.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are, talking about this poor soul got himself arrested for having a fake bill.
Having a real bill.
Yeah, he was arrested for having a fake bill that, turned out to be a real bill. I'm kind of with you, Chelsea. I'm wondering what kind of a bill was it? Was it a $20 with a small face? Because again, those bills, they don't pass the magic marker test. Was it a 20 or was it a $5? What was it?
Makes sense.
What was it?
But it's got to be, okay, so at some point in time, that was the currency of the realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point in time, there was a way to test that specific type of money. And certainly, it's plausible that Burger King didn't have whatever it is, like a green marker instead of a red marker to test for.
I don't know. That only works on newer bills. It won't work on the $100 bills that were made before, I think, like 1992 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's not even that long ago.
And I mean, nobody counterfeits 5s.
Or 20s.
Right.
It's way
That's
too
true.
much trouble.
Or 20s, really.
Okay. Yeah, people don't really counterfeit 20s either, which is a good point. I highly doubt he was carrying around a $100 bill into, a Burger King.
Yeah, homeless guy. Because homeless guys walk around with $100 bills in their pockets all the time.
Obviously, that's why, But my point being, there must have been some reasonable way to test for the validity of that bill much more quickly than 3 months.
Well, yeah, it says here Ellis was arrested.
Well, I think somebody at the Burger King could have Googled it.
Right.
And found out that it was real.
It says here Ellis was arrested in November of 2015 and charged with forgery of a banknote. His arrest triggered a probation violation, and he was held without bail until his final probation violation hearing. This according to the lawsuit. He wasn't released from jail until February of 2016, when prosecutors finally dropped the forgery charge.
We can barely hear you.
Finally dropped the forgery charge after the Secret Service concluded that Ellis's bill was real. Ellis.
They had to get the Secret Service in on it.
Ellis, 37, also never got his money back, the lawsuit says. No one deserves to be treated that way.
That's the greatest tragedy.
For real,
They
right?
stole this dude's money.
Not only did they do that, but they stole this homeless guy's only $20 bill. Jeez.
Oh, I thought it was a 5 for some reason.
I don't know, or a 5, a 20. We don't know what it was. They don't say what it was, but my assumption is that it was a 20 that they couldn't use the marker on.
Yeah, because realistically, if it were a 5, I just can't imagine that anyone would have been like, oh, sorry, I don't know.
I've had it happen.
I've worked at a Burger King before when I was like 16, and, we did use the marker on them, but they never told us what we were looking for. I mean, we just marked it and put it in the drawer, and that was it. So, we probably accepted untold numbers of counterfeit 20s, and we never knew it.
Right.
I'm amazed that they caught it.
Let's see here. It says the lawsuit comes weeks after the arrest of 2 black men at a Philadelphia Starbucks and other cases that have shined a spotlight on minorities' interactions with law enforcement. Starbucks says its employees will receive racial bias training after an employee called police on the black men because they hadn't bought anything. At a Yale University earlier, well, that's not exactly true. They were asked to leave because they hadn't bought anything, and when they refused to leave after being asked, then it happened. And a Yale University student, earlier this month, a white student called campus police about a black graduate student who had fallen asleep while working on a paper.
Seriously?
Yeah, so basically because these two stories...
Library? Like where?
Yeah.
Mr.
Yale.
Fight the Patriarchy college student.
Right,
At Yale.
where could you possibly be sleeping that would seem
In the library.
suspicious? That doesn't make any sense.
He was sleeping in the library. Because people never do that in finals time, like it's totally finals
People literally sleep sleep in the library like at all times.
I remember when I was at UCF, the students used to have like a thing where they slept in the student union building. There was like a 4-day long thing where they had breakfast there. They had blankets and sleeping bags, and it was 4 days of cramming where students literally lived in the student union building instead of in their dorms, because that's where the computers are and the printers and everything. So like everybody's there, and they're like, it's like 24-hour a day for 4 days of studying and cramming for all your exams. But it's Yale, you know. It is Yale. Buffy, do you see that colored man over there?
The only black person they'd ever seen in their entire lives, so they didn't know what else to do.
Buffy, darling, could you call the police? I believe one of the help has fallen asleep over there on the floor.
No.
Police, we have a drug dealer over here.
Yeah, I mean, you know that's how it was. they were like, oh no.
He has taken some marijuana and passed out.
I bet she's overdosed.
Oh, man.
Well, because you know that's how those rich yuppies are. But they're also the ones, like, they're the first ones to get offended if you say those things out loud. Like, they can think them and call the cops, but if you say them, you know, if you say the no-no words, they will send the Twitter lynch mob.
All they want is for, you know, Daddy to give them more money that they can use to smash the white heteropatriarchy.
Well, I mean, you know, you hate the white heteropatriarchy, but every once in a while, you know, you just find a big old white Richard in your mouth.
Well, you were going to end up back here, yes.
Oh, I'm supposed to be editing that. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I will do it this evening.
Yep.
Wait, what does that mean, editing a white Richard?
Richard has returned.
Editing
editing the video to remove some of her foul language.
Yeah.
While keeping the essence intact.
She's Arab, yo. She's Arab. You know those horrible women. They're so oppressed, and like their men beat them. You know all that stereotype. Yeah, she's Arab. Oh, and so is the head of like the Coochie Hat Women's March. So there you go for your stereotypes.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, when we get back here, we're gonna continue on with this and a whole lot more. So stick around.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
What
am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website, fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. So, it's another beautiful day here in the Shire. Nice and hot outside. Humidity's finally down to a reasonable level. We've been getting the mosque all nice and decorated up for Ramadan, which is, well, beginning today. We've got lots of stuff we've been going on. We had a nice little candlelight vigil for the 62 victims of violence in Palestine and Gaza over the course of the last few days. And that made it in the local paper. We're very happy about that. Threw some lights up. We'll be throwing some photographs of that up. We've been talking today, now joined by Aria Demezzo from cryptocurrencycheck.org, as well as Chelsea Snyder from the Vora Method, about this story of possible counterfeiting. And this guy basically, now this is what it looks like to me, because the guy got out of jail like 2 years ago and wasn't offended enough to sue. But now that there have been these other lawsuits and people have gotten paid based on something, now he's going to sue too. Like before, like I'm not saying he doesn't deserve justice. It just doesn't give the impression.
He doesn't deserve justice from Burger King.
No, he deserves justice from the state. He definitely deserves justice from the state. Burger King should apologize. Absolutely. We have stupid people that work here. If you want to use old money, you shouldn't go to places that employ teenagers.
I mean, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you go in a building and the oldest person in the building was born after $20 bills no longer had small faces, you know, I mean, we're talking 1992 here. That's almost 30 years ago at this point.
25. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and you can go to a McDonald's and find a manager that's like 20. You know, like you can find managers at McDonald's that aren't old enough to drink.
I know.
They're running the whole show.
But like the thing that kind of gets me is like, how could you possibly arrest someone? I don't know. I mean, if a person is clearly homeless, how could you possibly assume that they are engaged in like counterfeiting $5 bills or $20 bills? Like that is just a very strange assumption.
Well, they're like, we probably made it on a copy machine at the library.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm surprised that they would interpret it as having a counterfeit $20 bill or whatever, you know,
Whatever it
denomination
was,
it
yeah.
is equivalent to counterfeiting the
Yeah,
money.
right?
Yeah, that's true as well, but that's the way it works. If you're in possession of counterfeit money, they're going to charge you with actually counterfeiting the money or using counterfeit bills. I think that's what he was charged with, was passing off he was charged with passing off a counterfeit bill.
So
or
if
attempt.
Burger King accepted that bill and deposited it into the bank that evening, and the bank called it, the franchisee of Burger King or the store manager would be arrested?
No, they just make him pay another $5.
Yeah, of course.
But he's seen as the victim, the one who was duped. Individuals like you and me, even if we're idiots and take it and change as well, I guess don't have the ability to be duped. And if we are culpable, whereas the business is not.
But honestly, okay, I mean, it's certainly like the likelihood. I mean, I just don't really use cash, so the likelihood of my ever coming into contact with a fake bill is pretty low. But if any kind of fake money were laundered in any way and it ended up in my hands, like, I mean, I don't actually think that people, I don't know, whatever you would call them, like civilians or individual people, get accused of anything from that, right? I mean, if you deposit something like that into a bank, nobody knows. The bank doesn't know. The ATM doesn't know that like who deposited the fake bill. I mean, there's all systems in place that just handle fake bills. Okay, this one slipped past us. You know, they don't really like accuse the individual bill holder. I mean, there's no chance that like a 45-year-old soccer mom's going to jail for it. Well, unless you are, you know, a homeless black man, I guess is the idea.
Yeah.
But there's
Fair
no
enough.
way that soccer moms are going to jail because they accidentally ended up with some kind of a fake bill, you know?
Well,
now I'm really curious. I don't even know how common fake bills are.
I was just trying to look that up. There's statistics, but the
circulation,
PDF is pretty big, so.
Yeah, because I would imagine that it would be pretty low, but
I still think it's hilarious that it took the federal government 3 months to figure out whether or not.
Yeah, you would think the government would recognize its own money.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't have such high expectations, Arya.
Caesar can't see his own face in the coin.
We've
What's
got
going on?
Reuters. Reuters is celebrating the first woman to ever be confirmed as CIA director.
Oh man, that gave me a headache.
Yeah.
Of course.
Ending a bruising confirmation fight centered on her ties to the spy agency's past use of waterboarding and other brutal interrogation techniques. Not torture, you heard that right.
It's enhanced interrogation.
Yeah. Haspel, who will be the first woman CIA director, is a 33-year veteran of the agency, currently serving as acting director. As senators continued to vote, the tally was 51-43 in favor of her nomination in the 100-member chamber, where a simple majority was required for confirmation.
I'm curious here. Does she use her vagina in the process of going about her duties as CIA deputy director or director?
Okay.
I want
because
to see what the roll call
and I would
vote
assume
was.
that she's not, then I don't see any relevance whatsoever in the fact that she's a female.
Yeah, well, no, there's not much. I'm curious who abstained, actually.
I'm trying to find the list. Here we go. 43 minutes ago from rollcall.com. A bipartisan vote does not follow partisan script.
How much dust does Rand Paul have on his tongue?
Right. The floor vote was 54 to 45. Let's see here. Jamie Sheehan of New Hampshire, for instance, ended up being one of the supporters from the Democratic side of the aisle. Oh, my God.
Catch us up.
I am just, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so he voted no?
He voted yes. He voted yes. Much of the focus had been on how Democrats from states won by Trump in 2016 will vote. The vote ended up being somewhat more complicated than that. The Senator Jeanne Sheehan of New Hampshire ended up being one of the supporters from the Democratic side of the aisle and from a state that Hillary Clinton won. Sheehan was from among the senators convinced by Haspel's commitment to not restore CIA's interrogation programs like the one that was used to torture under the Bush presidency. But she didn't say that she wouldn't.
No, she said Trump won't ask her to.
Yeah, when Al would do it. If Trump asks you to do this, will you do it? I don't think he'll ask me to do it.
And your fiance says, and you ask your fiance, hey, would you ever cheat on me? And she says, well, I don't think anyone would ever ask me.
Exactly.
You wouldn't want to go ahead with that union.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I loved the other day, though. I don't remember who it was, but they were like, oh, yeah, Gina, convinced me by the things that she said, both in public and in private. I'm like, oh, I see.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT No Government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. And we have been broadcasting live for you today discussing, well, the Gina Haspel's nomination and all of those mealy-mouthed liberals who voted on her behalf. They crossed the aisle, again, just like we were talking yesterday, just enough to make sure that she got her nomination.
Literally by one person.
Yep, that's right. And one of those people, well, she's a Democrat from right here in New Hampshire. Her name's Jean Shaheen. And, well, she's got an explanation for her vote. She says, now let me be perfectly clear. I believe that torture's inconsistent.
Dusty vaginas have to stick together.
Right. I believe torture is inconsistent with our nation's values, and its use has harmed America's standing in the world. I also believe that it's important to hold Gina Haspel's nomination to a similar standard as previous nominees for this position, particularly in regards to responsibility for the CIA's use of torture following the 9/11 attacks. So basically, since they didn't hang that albatross around the neck of other CIA director appointees, some of which didn't actually have anything to do with it, so I guess that kind of makes sense. It's unfair.
Wasn't this the woman who, like,
gave
literally
the order to destroy
oversaw
the
it?
tapes? Yeah, she's the one that gave the order to, and she was known for being, like, sadistic and sick. Like, that she gained enjoyment from it is the way that she's described by the people underneath of her. So, Wait,
I just realized, I'm not sure how I never realized this before. Were there other people who were potentially in the running for this position? Because I have not heard a single word about anyone else.
Nope.
That leads me to believe, honestly, I mean, not that I didn't already, but it does lead me to believe that really this whole thing was just, like a dog and pony show. It was all just like, oh, let's pretend that we're not going to nominate her, but they were not considering anyone else, so obviously we're going to nominate her. Yeah. And at the end of it, they pulled out
as far as I'm
vote.
aware, the president only nominates one person at a time for any given position. And if they get rejected, then he nominates someone else, I think.
Yeah, okay. But there wasn't anyone else they were even talking about being in the running.
Yeah, right. It's not like Exactly. And it's not like, okay, if she doesn't make it, then, these other people are on the short list, or there was never any short list of any kind that I heard. And maybe they keep that stuff private. That's fine. I mean, but I don't know.
We've got Senator one of the thing that they were surprised by was that Senator Jug Jones, a new Democrat senator from a heavily Republican Alabama, came down against Haspel. But then you also have he says
God told me he don't like torture.
There's a legal and moral responsibility that comes with operating in secrecy, he said in a statement. Some of Ms. Haspel's past actions and beliefs do not meet that standard. We must choose leaders that consistently embody our highest ideals rather than our darkest moments. Senator Jeff Flake, an Arizona Republican, announced Wednesday that he would have to oppose Haspel's confirmation because he never received enough information about her role in the destruction of the tapes of the, quote, enhanced interrogation of suspected terrorists in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks. Flake effectively followed the lead of Arizona Senior Senator Armed Services Chairman John McCain, who encouraged his Senate colleagues to oppose Haspel's confirmation. While I think she has a long and dedicated career of service to the CIA, as a country, we need to turn the page on the unfortunate chapter in the agency's history having to do with torture. Congress needs to be able to provide fully informed oversight, Flake said in a statement. My questions about Ms. Haspel's role in the destruction of videotapes relevant to the discussion occurring in Congress regarding the program have simply not been adequately answered. Now, I'm trying to find a list. That little article was nice, but, I want that's from Roll Call. I mean, where is the list? There should be a list of people. Senate Roll Call vote. No, that's from Mike Pompeo from last year. I guess they just haven't released the roll call vote yet? Huh. 5 Democrats, controversial nominee. Well, do we got a list of them here? Who were the 5 Democrats? Mark Warner of Virginia. Who else? Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota. Bill Nelson of Florida. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love it. That's funny. That's very funny to me because I know a lot of Muslim families, and particularly like Palestinian refugee families, that they raise money for Bill Nelson because he's supposed to be their friend. And every time he's given an opportunity to do the right thing and make all the money and ass kissing that they do to him worthwhile, he does, well, this.
Yeah, because he can get more money and butt kissing from somebody else.
Joe Donnelly, Democrat Joe Donnelly of Indiana, and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Jeff Flake of Arizona, and Mike Lee of Utah are still undecided. Haspel, 30-year veteran, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. She's a torturing... I can't finish that sentence. Let's see here. Nope, that's the folks that don't like her.
Have you noticed how the media can't even talk about her without talking about her experience and qualifications?
Yeah, right. Hillary was the most qualified for the job, too. When I hear most qualified, I hear she has the largest stack of dead bodies in her wake. That's what I hear when I hear qualified. Like, oh, she's the most qualified. Well, oh, you mean she's killed the most people? Oh.
Or screwed the most people
that Yahoo
over.
article put it best. Or MSNBC, whoever it was.
What did it say?
Oh, it rambled on at length about how amazing she was, how patriotic she was, and how...
Oh, I remember that
she
one.
was the female version of Captain America, only real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm sorry.
Honestly, sometimes I think that... I do think as a country, too, we're moving in a bit of a direction now where we don't really necessarily care as much about how much experience you have in government, because I think that we're all starting to realize that like experience in government is just means that you have experience being manipulative and corrupt, and like you're good at it because you've been in government for a certain amount of time, you know?
Yeah. Like that's how they try to pitch nominees in the Libertarian Party now too. You know?
Yeah.
He's the best because he's been around, like he's wallowed in the mud the longest. So, of course.
We should definitely vote for Johnson.
Definitely vote for him.
We should definitely re-elect Weld, right? Because he has the most experience.
Weld 2020, yo.
Weld 2020. Oh, boy.
Wells' vagina is dustier than Hillary's.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you. I got some sand in mine today.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Woo, yeah. So we got to the end of that, and I got a whole minute to fill with, I don't know.
Dusty genitalia.
That's a horrible. That's a horrible thought. It's like Will's got a whole minute of airtime to fill.
No.
Right when we get on the subject of dusty vaginas.
No.
Hillary's is so old it probably farts dust.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
it's probably haunted. Yeah, right. It's Ramadan. Exactly. They reminded me. Be careful.
Wait, what
it's
is
Ramadan.
Ram?
I shouldn't even.
honestly
should not be on the air until the sun goes down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I shouldn't be on the air until the sun goes down.
Oh, well, happy Ramadan.
It is. Hopefully, if I survive through it.
Oh, okay. Happy, survival day.
Anyway, when we get back here, it'll be time for the Crypto Hour, something I can talk about and still keep everything mostly PG. Anyway, so if you want to get involved, we're going to be talking about Nokia giving you the opportunity to monetize your data.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, May 17th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.43 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,288 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,315. Antiwar.com reports 10 of the 15 current members of the UN Security Council have signed a letter expressing profound concern about the lack of implementation of a 2016 resolution which called for a freeze of Israeli settlements built on Palestinian soil. The letter, addressed to Secretary General Antonio Guterres, was signed by Bolivia, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, the Netherlands, Peru, Sweden, and 2 permanent members, France and China. The 2016 resolution was a rare Security Council vote involving the occupation of Palestine that was not vetoed by the United States. The United States abstained and the resolution passed 14-0. President Trump was deeply critical of the resolution and has largely supported Israel's rapid expansion of its settlements ever since. The 10 nations expressing concern want the UN Secretary General to start submitting quarterly reports on the situation and the fact that Israel is flouting the resolution. The U.S. will almost certainly veto any attempts to do anything about the violations. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports a New York man wrongfully jailed for the murder of an off-duty corrections officer in New York as a child has been exonerated. 41-year-old John Bunn served 17 years in prison after being convicted of the murder at the age of 14 in August of 1991 based on tainted evidence produced by former detective Louis Scarcelli. Bunn said, "It's been 27 years. I've been fighting for my life and I've been fighting for my innocence." He was freed on parole in 2009 and won the right to a new trial in 2016, but he was ultimately exonerated after prosecutors said they would not retry the case. Bunn said in court, "I didn't deserve any of that stuff that you all did to me," adding, "They won't admit it and say that I'm an innocent man, but I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man. You all convicted and had a wrong man in prison, and you all still have somebody on the loose that killed someone." Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Shondia Simpson said Bunn should not have been imprisoned and questioned the legal process leading to his conviction. Simpson said the case was tried, a jury was picked, testimony was given, and it all concluded in one day. "I don't consider that justice at all." Bunn and Roshan Hargrave, then 16, were convicted in the shooting of Rikers Island Corrections Officer Rolando Neischer and Robert Croson. They were placed in a photo array created by Scarcella for Croson, who survived the shooting and who identified Bunn and Hargrave as the suspects. Croson also served as the lone witness in the trial. Simpson told Bunn to move forward after the exoneration. In the years since his parole, Bunn started a nonprofit literacy organization called A Voice for the Unheard and has collected more than 20,000 books for New York inmates. Bunn said, "I don't know how I made it this far, but I believe I'm here for a purpose." Hargrave's conviction was also thrown out, and his case will not be retried. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Department of Transportation told airlines on Tuesday that they must continue to allow the transport of the most common service animals, but said it was asking for public comment about amending its existing regulations. The DOT said in a statement that it wants to ensure that individuals with disabilities can continue to use their service animals while also helping to ensure that the fraudulent use of other animals not qualified as service animals is deterred. There are growing concerns among airlines about passengers bringing aboard exotic creatures that could pose a safety risk, and companies have recently begun tightening requirements. The DOT said it would focus on ensuring that carriers in the United States continue to accept the most commonly used service animals, dogs, cats, and miniature horses. Existing rules allow airlines to deny transport to animals such as snakes, other reptiles, ferrets, rodents, and spiders. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Could dropping bombs on Afghans without warning from terrifying robot airplanes that fly themselves actually hurt America's efforts to stabilize Afghanistan?
It's complicated. No, not at all. Actually, I think we need to stay the course. You don't change horses midstream, and you don't stop firing missiles from unseen death droids soaring high above the clouds just because a couple of schools get blown up.
We have got to find another way to obliterate this population.
What about flaming bulldozers or 50-foot tall tanks?
Let's do what we can for these civilians. I mean, why not name the drones Billy or Steve to make them seem less dispassionate?
Oh, that is a terrible idea. Billy is a horrible name for a drone.
They're now developing a 40-foot robot that actually looks more like an American soldier and also sprays lasers out of his eyes.
Well, at least that's a step forward.
Hey, look, as long as it fires missiles and bombs with very little accuracy and 0 Americans are at threat, I'm all for it.
Good point.
They should give it funny, floppy arms.
Yes.
Oh, it should spray candy out of its chest a few minutes before it starts shooting everything.
This is the Onion News Network. The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the Call to Freedom.
All right, welcome here to the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live here from the Shire. It's another beautiful day here. I don't know. I can barely hear myself in my headphones. Ari, are you hearing me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Maybe it's just it is. Oh, it's just the headphones I had on. I don't know why. That was weird. Those headphones, the Sony headphones I had on, sounded like there was no sound coming through them at all. Anyway, it's the Crypto Hour here, and well, we've got a story here. I saw the title of it. I'll admit to you straight up front, I didn't read it before I brought it in here. The title itself just really caught my eye. The idea of allowing consumers to monetize their own data, giving the power and the ownership of data back to the people, is just something that really interests me. So when I see a story that says that, there's a company that's trying to do that, then my immediate reaction is, well, come on, let's talk about this. This here says Nokia is letting consumers monetize their data using the blockchain. Blockchain data platform Streamer is partnering with Finnish telecom giant Nokia and California software company OCSoft. I thought it was Aria. Am I hallucinating? Didn't that used to be Ubisoft?
Didn't it used to be who?
Ubisoft. It's OSI, OCSoft now, but I swear it used to be Ubisoft at one point in time.
I'm not familiar with either company.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they're partnering up to allow mobile customers to monetize their user data and make purchases. Chief Executive Henry Picala announced the partnership at CoinDesk's Consensus 2018 conference on Wednesday, while conducting a live launch of its real-time data marketplace through which users can provide and subscribe to real-time data streams. He said in a statement that today marks a hugely significant day in Streamer's history, not only showcasing our platform to the world on stage at Consensus, but announcing 2 stellar partnerships. The partnership with Nokia will see Nokia's Kuhabase Kuha base stations integrate with Streamer's data marketplace, allowing Nokia customers to both
Isn't Nokia owned by Microsoft now?
I don't think so.
I'm going to Google that. I'm pretty sure they are.
Please do. Says, partnership with Nokia will see Nokia's Kuha base stations integrated with Streamer's data marketplace, allowing Nokia customers to both monetize their data and purchase streams from the Internet of Things devices. We recognize...
Microsoft sold Nokia in May of 2016.
Microsoft sold Nokia to a Finnish company.
Yeah, so they no longer own them.
Yeah, and they're now owned by a Finnish company. Says, let's see here. We recognize a growing movement of empowered mobile customers who want to control and monetize their own data. Nokia's radio system evolution lead, Marty Licks. It's one of those Eastern European names that starts with like a Y and a L and some other consonants. So I'm not even going to try, I don't get offended when people can't try with Arab names. So please don't get offended if I can't try with your Central and Eastern European names. See, but this guy from Nokia's radio system evolution said in a statement, our partnership with Streamer reflects our firm belief in the platform. Participants buy and sell real-time data streams through Ethereum and smart contracts. Buyers and sellers use ERC20 tokens called Datacoin. The partnership with OCSoft will see the firm's enterprise customers gain the ability to earn money for the operations data. Earlier in May, Streamer announced another partnership with Hewlett-Packard to use the Streamer engine, a data aggregator and an analytics tool to collect data from the Audi QT. That is used to monetize car data. That would be another blockchain-backed data platform. Let's see, with Hewlett-Packard, world's leading technology solution and innovation company.
I don't think the kind of people who want to protect their data are putting their data on the immutable, permanent, never-ending, never-disappearing blockchain.
Right. This is saying that, so you've got Nokia with this one company, and they're going to help with your data, right? Your personal data, your phone. I'm assuming that's like your phone user data. So like when you're on the phone and you're, surfing the web and joining websites and doing your shopping and all that stuff, it's tracking you and they're going to monetize that data. And now the HPE contract will monetize your vehicle data. And it will be delivered in real time to the Streamer marketplace. It says, one of the first demonstrations in the world where a car's data will be monetized into a publicly available platform. Makes it not only a truly important milestone, but a pivotal moment in the race to innovate. We welcome the future of cities and towns. Real-time data is required to drive smart cities forward.
Am I understanding this correctly, that it's basically going to put on a blockchain every location that you ever visit?
It's going to sell that data. It's going to use the blockchain as a way to monetize all of the information. So like if you drive X amount of miles, if you drive to baseball games, what your age is, do you eat? Do you go to Taco Bell 6 times a week?
What time you poop each day?
Well, not yet, but I'm sure as the Internet of Things grows, there will be an Alexa will have like a smeller, and it'll be able to detect methane fumes in your bathroom to know if you're in there dropping a couple off at the pool. I've got 4 on deck.
And they'll sell it to us under the guise of an automatic toilet paper ordering service.
It will be. It will. They'll be like, it will order your toilet paper for you automatically. It knows how many times you've taken a dump.
And a drone will shoot it through your window.
It will. Aren't you glad? I mean, technology is awesome, but sometimes it's awesomely scary. All right, to be truthful. Like, I look at some of the stuff that the internet is able to, like, know what I'm doing and go, I don't know if I'm comfortable with anyone knowing that much information about me. Anyway, well, when we get back here, we're going to continue on. You remember a couple of days ago, we were talking about the Fed saying, you know, we got to be careful because I might be, worried that cryptocurrency could be a threat to the Federal Reserve. Now you've got the Fed governor saying, maybe that guy in St. Louis spoke too soon. We'll get into what her opinion is when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Inclement weather prevents a liar from getting to work, and a lunchbox is mostly medication. Sources across the nation impatiently reported today that the 24-hour news cycle seemed to be taking forever, telling reporters that the continuous coverage from MSNBC, CNN, and other news sources was simply not continuous enough. Frustrated Americans demanded more panel coverage, around-the-clock bulletins, and breaking reactions from Twitter.
It's like, sure, I have 5 channels of unending news updates constantly flooding my screen, but each one of those only has one slow-moving news ticker. Why not 3 or 4 running at triple speed? Honestly, these networks need to understand that I can't just wait around all day for minute-by-minute coverage.
And in this week's science news, a new report finds that lake ice grows safer to venture out on with each beer consumed. In other news, the beauty industry announces a new initiative to make women self-conscious about their palms. A beautiful cinnamon bun is too good for this world, too pure. And a picky eater is 38.
This is the Onion News Network. Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are in the beginning of today's Crypto Hour on this live Thursday edition on your drive home of the Call to Freedom. We are, we're talking here about, the Federal Reserve just can't seem to make up its mind. Is cryptocurrency a threat or is it not? Well, just a couple days ago, we were listening to the Fed Reserve chairman from, where was he from? Oh, he was from St. Louis, saying, we should be careful. It's kind of scary. Bitcoin could be a threat to the dollar. Then, today, you have a completely different view. Lael Brainerd, a member of the Board of Governors at the U.S. Federal Reserve, she doesn't see a compelling demonstrated need for a Fed-issued digital currency. Speaking at the Decoding Digital Currency Conference yesterday in San Francisco, Brainerd said that while central bank digital currencies may seem to address a number of challenges associated with cryptocurrencies, they may not withstand closer scrutiny. I think they're talking to you, fed.gov.ripple. Further, with people finding easier ways to exchange digital payments directly through mobile applications and other means, American consumers are likely to receive multiple mechanisms for making electronic payments in real time. She also noted, quote, finally, there's no compelling demonstrated need for a Fed-issued digital currency. Elsewhere in the speech,
she is correct about that.
Right. Elsewhere in the speech, Brainerd once again made it clear that she believes that cryptocurrency pose no threat to financial stability. She noted that the central bank is actively monitoring developments in cryptocurrencies in areas such as payments policy, supervision and regulation, financial stability, monetary policy, and more, discussing security concerns with respect to cryptocurrencies, including breaches and fraudulent activities, Brainerd said. Quote, however, the still relatively small scale of cryptocurrencies in relation to our broader financial system and relatively limited connections to our banking sector suggest that they do not currently pose any threat to financial stability. The governor continued to say that adverse developments and shifts in the cryptocurrency market might lead to extreme price fluctuations, trading difficulties, or even market breakdowns. In order to prevent such activities, Brainerd stressed that the Federal Reserve will continue to monitor cryptocurrencies as they evolve, with particular vigilance for any signs of growing materiality? Is that even a real word? Growing materiality to the broader financial system. Materiality. Is that I think that the author just made that up.
I don't know if it's a real word. The statement doesn't make much sense for what it's worth.
Is this another one of the things where CoinDesk makes a quality or character of being material or composed of matter? The quality of being relevant or significant. Well, you learn new things every day. I didn't know that was a real word. Materiality. So relevance. There we go. Relevance. How about that? The growing relevance to the broader financial system. I love how I think what it is that the writers
Thesaurus should be banned.
Yes, the writers at CoinDesk love the thesaurus and just throw these words in that you have to like cut your tongue into 3 slits to even say the word, and then you have to look it up and go, oh, well, it means this other thing that's a totally easier to say word that would have made so much more sense, and everybody reading it would have been totally like, oh, okay. Because when I read relevance, my brain doesn't think material. Jesus Christ, never mind. Anyway, as noted, this is not the first. Oh my God. I got to read this to you as it's written, okay? Now, this person needed to use the word materiality to show you how good their English skills are, but then the very next sentence begins, as noted, this not the first time. This not the first time. It is. It's not. Not this is not the first time. No, this not the first time the Fed governor spoken on the subject of cryptocurrency. In April of this year, Brainerd cautioned individual investors to be aware of the possible pitfalls of these investments and the potential losses. She said at the time that the Fed is monitoring the extreme volatility evidenced by some cryptocurrencies. So, yeah. Crypto market calls out, Fed governor, crypto market is extremely volatile back in April. Oh, okay. So she just said the same thing that everybody else says. Huh. I guess we're supposed to be impressed by that now. Like, well, a person at the Federal Reserve said the same thing that some other person at the Federal Reserve said the other day. Who cares, man? Like, they're the Federal Reserve. They're going to,
They're trying to reserve the federal financial system.
For real.
Wait, that would be preserve.
Yeah.
Sorry. Whatever. There's a joke in there somewhere. Somebody figure it out.
Oh my God. Illegal Bitcoin mining chicken farms in New York. What kind of a title is that? Chicken farms in New York. The U.S., China, South Korea. Chicken farms in South Korea. In South Korea, places like chicken farms and factories in development restricted areas are provided with electricity at cheaper rates by the government to help struggling industries and support innovative technology-focused initiatives. Well, of course, some smart chicken farmer figured out with all that subsidy, he could make a whole lot of money mining Bitcoin.
Dude, that is epic. Oh, my God.
By disguising buildings as semiconductor factories and several properties as chicken farms, 5 individuals were able to mine cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum with virtually no cost apart from the miners that they acquired and installed. In the Paju restricted...
We need an award for them.
For real, yo? In the Paju restricted development area, these guys set up... Oh, this is epic! These guys are my heroes. Way to stick it to these idiots in their they're subsidizing electricity. Oh my God. When we get back, we're definitely going to get into this story. This is too funny to pass up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. you can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at downsizedc.org.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com।
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Shire, and it is another beautiful day here. I'm joined live via remote by Miss Aria DiMezzo from cryptocurrencycheck.org, and we've been talking about, well, some creative ways that some folks have set up illegal mining operations. Some of them using, well, we'll call them loopholes in the subsidy laws in certain countries to basically mine crypto for free. It says here in the Pajudish restricted development area, 5 individuals rented out an 859 square meter building and applied to the government as a semiconductor factory. For 8 months, the group utilized the space to mine cryptocurrencies with more than 1,580 ASIC miners. In the later months of their illegal venture,
Holy crap.
Right? In the later months of their illegal venture, the group recruited more than 40 individuals and rented out their ASIC miners to produce even more cryptocurrencies. The group generated more than $300,000 by accepting ASIC miners from individuals within months, but the actual sum of cryptocurrencies the groups were able to produce throughout the 8-month period remains unclear. Preliminary investigations undertaken by the Gyeonggi and Paju police has shown that the group produced at least 760 Ethereum, which is worth more than $500,000, and a large sum of Bitcoin. Well, I could imagine. The local police are still, oh my God, the grammar. The local police is still investigating. Are still investigating. I mean, come on, yo. You write for a newspaper, and I'm an inbred hick from Appalachia. I can write better than this. I can correct your horrible grammar as I read it, and I'm supposed to be the dumbest thing on the planet. I mean, come on. Jesus, I'm sorry, just sloppy writing here. The police, they are still investigating into the final sum of money that the group generated. Throughout this past year, the police have also discovered that the group only paid 50% of the normal electricity rate and received significant discounts for renting out the farms and factories. Currently, South Korea...
You know what that's called?
Smart.
Entrepreneurship.
For real, yo. Currently, South Korea has no laws or policies approved that can punish cryptocurrency miners in development-restricted areas. Minor charges could be applied to the 5 individuals for using the space intended to carry out other initiatives, but no major penalties can be imposed as of now. To prevent similar situations from occurring in the future, the local police have requested the Ministry of Land Transport and Maritime Affairs to draft and approve laws that prohibit cryptocurrency miners from taking advantage of the districts and areas with cheaper electricity rates. Now, moving on to New York.
I mean, what issue do the police have with this exactly? That they don't get a cut of the slice because it's untaxed?
Yeah, the state is subsidizing so the state's paying half their electric bill.
Right, which I'm not a fan of because, it's subsidized through taxation, but, I mean...
You're going to tax that money anyway. They're just getting their stolen money back from you. Let's see here. The city of Plattsburgh, again, permanent ban on Bitcoin mining. Local authorities and rests released a moratorium. I think didn't we already cover this? The moratorium where you're not allowed because of the T-Mobile thing. Yeah. Well, that's a rehash. Come on. Keep up with the rest of us, man. You guys should be better than that. Oh, yeah, here we go. This was the other one. Blockchain for elections. What could possibly go wrong? The list...
I don't know. Blockchain for carrots and potatoes seem to work out rather well.
Well, this says the list of potential uses for blockchain technology span many different sectors, with the belief that being almost every facet of life, from finance, technology, economics, and sociology, could be disrupted by this decentralized force. However, it is in politics, and especially elections, where the buzz building about the positive influence of blockchain technology can bring that it can bring to the ballot box. Elections have been subject to scrutiny and corruption for so long that many in the tech space, as well as the electoral committees, are viewing blockchain as the future of fair elections. Because the last time that we found a way to computerize elections, it went so well. Right? I mean, did we forget? We're all complaining about computerized elections now. So the solution is a different way to computerize elections.
I mean, in Mississippi, there's no paper trail at all. It doesn't give you the little printout. I mean, there's no verification that it got your vote. There's nothing. It's a total joke.
Well, I guess this
if
could
you
fix
like
that.
the futility of voting, then you will really love these machines they have here.
Right. It's kind of funny. Well, it says here they think that it will. It's the future of fair elections. That's the long and the short of it. There have been some use cases already where blockchain has come to the aid of elections. Different countries and organizations have begun experimenting with the immutable distributed ledger that offers transparency and security. However, the ball is only starting to get rolling as across the globe, digital ballots and blockchain elections make great strides. On March 7th, it was reported that as an apparent world first that Sierra Leone had employed blockchain technology in tallying its presidential elections. However, it appeared as if Gamar had jumped the gun, as the technology had not been directly used to tally the votes, but rather run alongside the normal process as a demonstration of how the election could be conducted using blockchain technology. This led to a media storm as the Sierra Leone government denied the use of blockchain and forced Gamar to rectify the issue, which he did to Cointelegraph, stating that they were trying to showcase its possibilities.
You know what scares me about this? This will pretend the rise of true democracy and majority rule, because so many stupid people out there think that democracy is a good thing.
Yeah, mob
rule. That it's desirable and that we should have it. Yeah.
Lynch mob government.
This is going to contribute directly to us instituting true democracies throughout the world. Because we're not going to be able to convince people, well, no, just because 51% of people want to do this doesn't mean that we should do it, because we can't convince them of that right now.
51% of Americans think we should kill everyone named Chad. Sorry, Chad.
Yeah, that's essentially their attitude, and they think it's a good thing because, democracy is the god that cannot fail.
It's the lynch mob that cannot be stopped. That's what the founders felt like, at least. Mob justice. Lynch mob government. Could blockchain really cause that? Who knows? We could get into a discussion about it if you'd like to when we get back, though. You're on the Call to Freedom.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Juicy Juice, 100% juice, providing a full serving of fruit in every 4 ounces. Visit us at juicyjuice.com. When it comes to nutrition, kids need both fruits and vegetables every day to stay healthy and grow. For the ideal mix, your kid should have at least 1.5 cups of any veggie or 100% veggie juice, and 1 cup of any fruit or 100% fruit juice a day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
I just heard the best sales pitch I've heard in a long time on an airplane. The flight attendant announced, "If you paid more than $75 for your round-trip ticket, you overpaid." This is brilliant because everybody on the flight paid more, and I was struck by how all the road warriors stopped typing and reading and working and looked up. The announcement invited us to apply for the airline's credit card, and the sign-up bonus, enough frequent flyer miles for a free round trip. Talk about turning lemons into lemonade. With some banks offering free credit cards, $75 is an outrage for an annual fee, but a bargain for airline tickets. For more tips on communicating more effectively, hit survivalspeech.com, where you can see how I got the CEO of another major airline to shower me with freebies. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the fifth caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Live from the Vertcoin Studio. This is the Call to Freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium. 4 to 7 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, you call her 5 to get some free coins. This is the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in Keene, New Hampshire. And, well, it is another beautiful day. So, anyway, we've been talking about this story here, the use of blockchain for election. And a point was brought up that actually is a pretty decent point, that this could be used to further direct consensus democracy, which would basically turn the world into the rule of the lynch mob. Is that about right, Aria?
Yeah, it is. And that would obviously be bad. I mean, as far as governments go, democracy is, right underneath the democratic republic, I suppose, because it could be worse, but not much worse.
Well, you see, they've got efforts here in West Virginia to use blockchain in the election. Quote here from the Office of the Secretary. The Office of the Secretary believes that blockchain provides a heightened level of security on this type of mobile voting app. We're genuinely hoping that this will allow this type of a mobile app to be made available in the future as early perhaps as our general election to military voters. So first they're going to use it for absentee voting for people in the military that are overseas. And then that will slowly get expanded and expanded and expanded. Just like the tracking chip that's in your ID and in your bank card now originally was just for tracking soldiers. It was just so they could find them. But now it's so they can find everyone. Isn't it wonderful? See here. However, the election in West Virginia seemed to have gone off without a hitch. There are some that see it as completely nuts. Duncan Bell, a computer science professor at the University of South Carolina, focuses on voting systems and election integrity, has been strongly opposed to digital voting from as far back as 2015, and feels like this new idea of blockchain voting brings in too many issues.
What took him so long?
Right. I'm strongly opposed to electronic voting. I think the whole notion of internet voting is completely nuts, Buell says. There are a number of issues that come up. The first, authentication. How do we verify who's at the other end? He's more referring to the company Voatz, which ran the election here, and their protocols, which include fingerprint scanning or facial recognition technology on its users' smartphones. Buell, however, maintains those can be hacked. The interest in blockchain technology taking over from traditional election methods has potential advantages due to the big technological upgrade from how elections are currently held. Many national elections take place using a paper-based system, leaving open huge holes for security breaches, fraud, and corruption. Blockchain offers an updated system for voters that could potentially fix these concerns. Its traditional assets, such as transparency, allow for votes to be followed, counted, and correlated by many different sources while still maintaining the privacy of the voter due to the anonymous transaction ability along with the blockchain. Security is also key in fair elections, as each vote needs to be guarded and respected, which is not often the case. Cybersecurity firm Kaspersky Lab introduced a blockchain-based secure online voting system dubbed Polys. The project website explains, quote, "Online voting imposes extremely stringent requirements on the security of every aspect of voting. We believe that the blockchain's technology is the missing link in the architecture of a viable online voting system." Nemo Namani, of Horizon State, a company that is working to build secure blockchain voting systems, told Cointelegraph why organizations as big as national governments are suddenly interested in blockchain elections. Elections are the heart of democracy. Any government or electoral committee is going to take their job very seriously when it comes to changing the way elections are carried out. Now, one thing that's going to make
what a false statement that is.
Well, one thing that makes me
they didn't
nervous
take it
is
seriously when they switched us.
When the government's telling us it's good and the government's telling us it what. Like anytime the government says, "I want to do this, let's do this," I'm the government. My immediate reaction is no. No, that's power you shouldn't be allowed to wield.
Right. Yeah, let's do the opposite of what the government suggests.
Whatever the
until
state
they get
says.
wise to it and start. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the state says, we should just do the opposite. That's been my experience. See here, the two governments I've discussed general elections on the blockchain with, one said it's interesting, but they don't want to be the first. They also mentioned that the cost is not much of an issue for them, but transparency and accountability are paramount. The second government, they are very much actively thinking about it, and I think that they will definitely have an election running on the blockchain within the next 4 years. Like is so often the case, the wait-and-see approach, which is also gripping the banking sector when it comes to blockchain, is a factor that's slowing the adoption of the new technology down. However, it is also understandable why these nations are not diving headlong into the blockchain election without thorough testing being done. Quote, "When you have an appetite for technology and for being at the forefront, government and regulators will do what they can to achieve it. However, they will not risk the election going wrong. This is a must-not-fail situation."
What world does this person live in? The elections go wrong all the time. If they didn't, they wouldn't have been demanding recounts in... What did Jill Stein raise? 50 grand? And it's because elections constantly go wrong. I mean, going right is the exception.
Yeah, no one having anything to complain about or contest. That's the exception. At least in these bigger races, the races that really matter, at least as far as like the American public's opinion is concerned. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, nobody's contesting who won the Mississippi senatorial race last year.
Do what now?
No one is contesting who won the Mississippi senatorial race last year?
Yeah, nobody cares. It's only the big races. Or the ones that we're told that we need to really, really care about, too, if you've ever noticed. Like the Roy Moore one. Like he was so much worse than any of the other racists and pedophiles that are already in office. Oh, this one's especially bad because he doesn't like gay people. Oh. Well, neither does the guy that's running against him.
So at least he's not molesting the boys, right. I guess.
I don't know, man. I've come up with this like what do you call it? It's like an algebraic expression. You know what I mean? The louder a politician crows about family values, the more likely you are to hear about his death with the lines, was found after having a heart attack with a local prostitute. And the louder one crows about transgenderism or being against gay marriage or homosexuality, the more likely you are to hear somewhere in their career that they are resigning because was caught with a teenage male prostitute, or was caught with a teenage male aide. You know, it's like it's just direct. It's directly proportionate, the likelihood of that happening to how loudly they crow about these issues.
Like that, like he doth protest too much.
What was it? James Yee, isn't that the guy's name? He's like one of the biggest anti-gun crusaders in Congress. They just sentenced him like a few weeks ago to prison time because he was selling illegal automatic weapons. I mean, come on.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. Make it illegal so that, it increases the value of it on the black market.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. All right, well, when we get back, we're going to talk about the president and his big mouth again, this time referring to people who cross the border without state permission as less than human.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, May 17th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.43 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,288 per ounce. Zen Cash is trading at $29, and the average price of Bitcoin is $8,315. Antiwar.com reports 10 of the 15 current members of the UN Security Council have signed a letter expressing profound concern about the lack of implementation of a 2016 resolution which called for a freeze of Israeli settlements built on Palestinian soil. The letter, addressed to Secretary General Antonio Guterres, was signed by Bolivia, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast, Kazakhstan, Kuwait, the Netherlands, Peru, Sweden, and 2 permanent members, France and China. The 2016 resolution was a rare Security Council vote involving the occupation of Palestine that was not vetoed by the United States. The United States abstained and the resolution passed 14-0. President Trump was deeply critical of the resolution and has largely supported Israel's rapid expansion of its settlements ever since. The 10 nations expressing concern want the UN Secretary General to start submitting quarterly reports on the situation and the fact that Israel is flouting the resolution. The U.S. will almost certainly veto any attempts to do anything about the violations. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports a New York man wrongfully jailed for the murder of an off-duty corrections officer in New York as a child has been exonerated. 41-year-old John Bunn served 17 years in prison after being convicted of the murder at the age of 14 in August of 1991 based on tainted evidence produced by former detective Louis Scarcelli. Bunn said, "It's been 27 years I've been fighting for my life and I've been fighting for my innocence." He was freed on parole in 2009 and won the right to a new trial in 2016, but he was ultimately exonerated after prosecutors said they would not retry the case. Bunn said in court, "I didn't deserve any of that stuff that you all did to me," adding, "They won't admit it and say that I'm an innocent man, but I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man. You all convicted and had a wrong man in prison, and you all still have somebody on the loose that killed someone." Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Shondia Simpson said Bunn should not have been imprisoned and questioned the legal process leading to his conviction. Simpson said the case was tried, a jury was picked, testimony was given, and it all concluded in one day. I don't consider that justice at all. Bunn and Roshan Hargrave, then 16, were convicted in the shooting of Rikers Island Corrections Officer Rolando Neischer and Robert Croson. They were placed in a photo array created by Scarcella for Croson, who survived the shooting and who identified Bunn and Hargrave as the suspects. Croson also served as the lone witness in the trial. Simpson told Bunn to move forward after the exoneration. In the years since his parole, Bunn started a nonprofit literacy organization called A Voice for the Unheard and has collected more than 20,000 books for New York inmates. Bunn said, "I don't know how I made it this far, but I believe I'm here for a purpose." Hargrave's conviction was also thrown out, and his case will not be retried. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the U.S. Department of Transportation told airlines on Tuesday that they must continue to allow the transport of the most common service animals, but said it was asking for public comment about amending its existing regulations. The DOT said in a statement that it wants to ensure that individuals with disabilities can continue to use their service animals while also helping to ensure that the fraudulent use of other animals not qualified as service animals is deterred. There are growing concerns among airlines about passengers bringing aboard exotic creatures that could pose a safety risk, and companies have recently begun tightening requirements. The DOT said it would focus on ensuring that carriers in the United States continue to accept the most commonly used service animals, dogs, cats, and miniature horses. Existing rules allow airlines to deny transport to animals such as snakes, other reptiles, ferrets, rodents, and spiders. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Now Facebook is rolling out their newest feature, LifePoint, which analyzes users' histories to determine exactly when things went wrong. The new feature combs through photos, status updates, likes, everything that you put on Facebook in order to pinpoint how someone irreparably ruined their life. For example, it might highlight your friend's spring break trip in 2003 when she took her first shot, or your cousin's engagement to a guy named Scott spelled with a K.
So, Facebook must have a lot of depressing information to work with.
Well, we look for sadness indicators, positive versus negative adjectives and status updates, whether you've liked a corporate entity such as Walmart or Arby's.
One of LifePoint's most buzzed about features is the Life Compare function, which lets you see how your mistakes stack up to others.
Here, I'm overlaying my graph with a graph of a childhood friend. You can see his life ended up much worse than mine, which is great.
Anything with a profile has a LifePoint, so you can look forward to finding out when your favorite bands, TV shows, and companies started going downhill.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
All right. Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom, here to the final hour of this live broadcast on your way home of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. I'm joined right now, live via remote, by Aria Demezio, the queen of crypto herself, from cryptocurrencycheck.org. And, well, before we left, I told you about a recent statement that's come out from our buffoon-in-chief. He's stuck his foot in his mouth again, at least for most of the country. Not for his most ardent supporters, of course, because he's just acknowledging the fact that they don't feel that the people he's speaking about are human, and speaking to them in a language that they can understand. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. It's about not quite a minute long, but as soon as you hear, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals.
I can barely hear it.
And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before. And because of the weak laws, they come in fast. We get them, we release them, we get them again, we bring them out. It's crazy. The dumbest laws, as I said before, the dumbest laws on immigration in the world. So we're going to take care of it, Margaret. We'll get it done. I'm going to ask that man right there, because that man can do it. Right now he's the most important man in the room. Kevin can do it. Is Kevin?
So these people we're catching and we're taking them, we're turning them back, sending them back across the border. These aren't even people, man. These are animals. That's, yeah.
Well, as I said when you first mentioned it, he's incorrect, because we don't complain when animals cross the borders.
Right? We treat animals that cross the border a lot better than we treat the people who do. We don't. I mean, we don't.
Yeah, we've never arrested the birds who fly north during the summer.
Right. Now, this was said as the president was railing against California for its so-called sanctuary immigration policies. It was in response to a complaint about gang members. Chuck Schumer, of course, responded with some liberal, same thing as always. But, while Schumer was in office, I don't remember him doing any real work to fix the system that we have. But, that's none of my business, of course. Let's see here.
Yeah, you can't fact that they're virtue signaling.
There were mayors, sheriffs, and other local leaders from California who opposed the state's immigration policy, and they applauded the administration in their hardline efforts. This is your Republican resistance right here, what they're doing in California, said Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez, co-opting a term used by Democrats opposed to Trump's presidency. She, like others, said the president and his policies were far more popular in the state than people like to admit or realize. So, let's see. They were criticizing legislation of Governor Jerry Brown, which was signed into law last year, that bars police from asking people about their immigration status or helping federal agents with immigration enforcement. Jail officials can transfer inmates to federal immigration authorities if they've been convicted of one of 800 crimes, mostly felonies, but not for minor offenses. If I fail to see what the problem is here. What are they so pissed off about? If they do something bad, they get sent to be deported. If they do something moderate or stupid, then they pay the fine and restitution, and then they go on about their day. What's the issue? What's the problem? I mean, honestly.
Well, I mean, to Democrats, you're not allowed to enforce any laws on people who aren't white.
And for Republicans, anyone that breaks the law, no matter how big or small, should be shot in the head summarily and burned at the stake.
Yeah.
Oh, I grew up in a household like my mom's one of these Trump voters, and her view is that if you're in jail, then you're guilty. That's it. If you got arrested,
oh yeah, I know the type.
You're guilty. Even if all the evidence shows that you're not guilty, this is just God's way of getting you back for some other thing that you're guilty of that you got away with. Because innocent people don't go to jail. And that's literally her view, stated outright. No hyperbole, no exaggeration. Innocent people don't get arrested. Innocent people don't go to jail. If you went to jail, there's a reason you're there. And that reason is never because the government made a mistake. There's a whole generation that was raised to believe this way and to be just absolutely unquestioning of the state.
Yeah, I mean, and our generation is just as bad, but in different ways. They're loyal to the state in other ways.
Daddy. The state's become daddy.
Yeah, and it is the answer to everything, even when its answer is horrifically wrong.
Well, before...
The answer, of course, to police killing black people is not to disarm the police or to abolish the police or anything like that. It's to change the police.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we have the right answer. We're just not applying it in the right way.
Yeah. It was the whole the no words, like, oh, you can like I say all the time, like if you use the N-word in 1994 out of uniform and video of that surfaces, and you're a cop, then you don't have a job anymore. But if you roll up on the scene and shoot a 12-year-old black kid in the back of the head who's unarmed and literally has done absolutely nothing at all, then you're just going to get a paid vacation, because in the American culture now, murder, like saying mean things, is worse than murder. There are literally words now that are worse than killing people. So Trump says, I don't, Islam is evil and we should deport the Muslims. And then he drops a bomb on an Afghan wedding and everyone's like, oh my God, did you hear what he said?
You know what we should totally do? We're so mad about this. We should totally make this woman who tortures these guys our CIA director.
For real. Well, no. It's
That'll show him.
But you heard, though. Trump says, I don't like Muslims. They're evil. They're bad. They're not good people. And then he drops a bomb on an Afghan wedding. And the response of the left is, did you hear what he said?
Yep.
Oh my God. I can't believe he said that. Because they can't be outraged anymore about the bomb. Because they protested
Obama bombed
so
a wedding in
much.
Afghanistan?
Exactly. They protested so much under Bush. They overplayed the hell out of their hand under Bush about the bombings. And then
oh, dude, they do. They still do it. I mean,
know.
protest is so passé now that people show up. They don't even know what they're protesting.
Amen to that.
Didn't we feature an article about someone who confessed to exactly that?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you hear what he said? Forget about the bomb, That's not important. Because words, man. Words are more important. Feelings. Not did I blow your kid into 67,000 pieces. Did I say something to hurt your feelings?
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
It's utterly ridiculous. It really drives me crazy in America, and this is very true on the left, is like what I was saying with Trump, like this thing where words are the worst thing in the world. Right. Like saying something offensive is horrific. Like if you were to go like, I just think Muslim culture is violent, you're like, you gotta go. But if you went, Islam is a religion of peace, and then you bomb the crap out of them, like you're okay. So I hate that. And what I don't like in like the libertarian world is this thing where it's like, oh, I have to come out and like repudiate I have to make it clear that I'm not a Nazi, which is like the most obvious thing ever. I'm a Jew preaching for individual rights who hates the state. What's less Nazi than that? But it's like...
All right, so welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Well, we were talking about the recent speech that is, of course, drawing tons of ire and hate that Trump gave, where he referred to the people that we deport as animals. Now, of course, Obama deported more, so far at least, than any 20th century president combined. But he said nice things. So the violence that he carried out is somehow a little bit more, at least to the liberal, a little bit more excusable because, well, I mean, all he did was commit acts of senseless violence to break up families via the state. I mean, that's all he did, I mean, they love when you do that for things that they like, so I guess they can't really say much when you do it for things that they don't like. But he also, see, when Trump does the same thing, he says mean things. Like, these people are animals. So I guess basically if Obama had deported all these people and had been like, I don't like these river jumpers or, some racial hateful thing about Mexicans that he could come up with, then finally maybe we could have some kind of outrage from the left about the fact that he, when he left office, was the most deportantest president that ever sat in the Oval Office. Aria, you there?
Yeah, but he did say the nice things. So, and nice enough to win a Nobel Peace Prize right before he dropped bombs on a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And expanded the drone program to the degree that it had never been at before.
Oh, yeah, you had watchdog groups that stated that Barack Obama had killed more Afghan civilians in his first 18 months in office than George Bush did in 6 years of occupation, of military occupation. And he somehow won a peace prize and was the anti-war president. And, oh, wait, that's right. I forgot. He hosted some sellout Muslims to come to the White House and have dinner with him during Ramadan. Muslims who kept their mouth shut about issues like Obama sending spies into the Muslim community, the FBI being caught multiple times sending fake Muslims into the mosque to try to convince young Muslims who were detached from the community to commit terrorist attacks that weren't real, both successfully and unsuccessfully. A number then add to that the 3 times that they were warned that a possible terrorist was going to be getting on an airplane, that they allowed them to get on the airplane. Let's see what else. I mean, just like there's a pretty good laundry list here of. I mean, look at Egypt. What happened with Egypt? They weren't willing to support Egyptian freedom until they beat Hosni Mubarak. And then after they beat Hosni Mubarak, they funded the military overthrow of the democratically elected government. So, I mean, but he says Ramadan Mubarak and Eid Mubarak, yo. So, and he said something like Muslims are a part of the fabric of American society. So, I mean, if I
you
murder,
didn't build that.
But if I murder a few thousand of them, you know, we're fighting a war on terror. Oh my God, that right there was the thing. I asked this guy. I was like, so you like I challenged him on the whole like Obama dropping 20,000 tons of bombs a year. And when I challenged him on that point, his response, this is a liberal, this is a dyed-in-the-wool progressive on a progressive page who fights for progressive views, and Obama is the Messiah, and Trump is literally Hitler and the devil had a baby with Joseph Stalin and Mao. And that, like, well, not Mao or Stalin, because they love them some communists. If Hitler and the devil and Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon had a baby, it would be Donald Trump to them, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he is literally Hitler, so...
Oh, no, he's not literally Hitler. Literally, he's worse than literally Hitler.
Which is impressive for someone who has not executed a Holocaust.
What now?
I may have misunderstood what you said in all of the names then.
I don't either. I got lost in all the names of all the people that the left hates. Just take all the people the left hate and mix them together in a glass, and that's Trump to them. And it's literally because he doesn't shower useless, meaningless platitudes on people. I mean, seriously, that's literally the only reason they don't like him, is he doesn't fake it till he makes it.
Yeah, it's all about virtue signaling now.
Well, he's not faking.
And I hate to keep using that phrase, but that's all it is, and that's all they want is virtue signaling. You can do anything as long as you signal the right virtues.
Well, you saw Bernie Sanders the other day with his little dog whistle. It's like, I'd like to come out and say that the violence of Hamas does not excuse or condone the violence against the protesters by Israel. Wait, what? You mean the 3 months of protests with no violence whatsoever that incited the initial attacks that were then responded to by people with Molotov cocktails and rocks? that violence? Is that what you want to make sure you blow your dog whistles so that your Zionist buddies in Congress know whose side you're still on? You're just, hey, I gotta play nice. I've got this Arab girl and she's got a lot of minorities that are willing to vote for me now. So, I've got to play this game, but just say Hamas violence. Yeah, see, so I said the magic word, so I'm still on your side in this whole thing. So it's okay.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We are broadcasting live here from the Shire on another wonderful Drive Home live broadcast here. We are moving right along. We've been talking about the president and, the left's, the America in general's idea that, there are just certain things you're not allowed to say. You can kill if you want. You can drop bombs. You can burn. You can pillage. You can do all the violence and evil that you want to. Just make sure you shower some senseless, useless, meaningless platitude on the racial or ethnic group that you're about to drop bombs on before you do it. As long as you do that, you can deport and break up all the Hispanic families you want to. You can bomb all the Afghan weddings you choose. You can even drone a Yemeni daycare center, and people will call you the greatest president in history, the president of peace, an anti-war president, even after dropping 20,000 tons of bombs a year. All you have to do is say, well, now, I think Hispanics are a part of the American fabric. That's it. And then you can deport tens of thousands of parents and rip apart thousands of families and never get credit for any of it. Isn't that nice? Well, I want to move on to another person in the Trump administration that I'm not a big fan of. But he got the middle finger today from Congress, and that's something I'm always a fan of. You see, the Rohrabacher-Blumenauer amendment was renewed, okayed again by a congressional committee. A powerful congressional committee on Thursday voted to extend federal protection for state legal medical marijuana, and it's the latest example of how Congress is progressing on cannabis, one small step at a time. The U.S. House Appropriations Committee, those are the guys that decide how we spend the money, well, they passed by voice vote an amendment introduced by U.S. Representative David Joyce, a Republican from Ohio, that would ban the Justice Department from using its funds to intervene with state laws that allow growth, distribution, and the use of cannabis for medicine. The bill will now be considered by the full House of Representatives. Great news for states' rights and those suffering severe pain. Fiscal year 2019 Commerce, Justice, and Science Appropriations Bill will include an amendment offered by myself protecting states' rights regarding the use of medical marijuana, says Representative Dave Joyce on Twitter just a few hours ago. The spending provision has technically been in effect since 2014, first as the Rohrabacher-Farr Amendment and later the Rohrabacher-Blumenauer Amendment. But conservative Republicans, and particularly Pete Sessions, the House Rules Committee chairman and an avowed cannabis legalization opponent, have worked to keep the amendment from ever making it to a floor vote. For the first time ever, our Rohrabacher-Blumenauer language passed by voice in committee. Representative Earl Blumenauer, a Democrat from Oregon, tweeted after the vote, adding that further steps need to be taken to protect adult use legalization. Medical marijuana protections are not enough. We need to expand to adult use, but today's action in committee is another sign that momentum is finally building. Cannabis industry activists and advocates say that the committee's actions are historic in scope. It's a tide turner for our industry, said Safira Galoub, CEO and principal of the Liaison Group, a Washington, D.C. lobbying firm that works in federal cannabis policies. Given the federal standalone legislation is much harder and more time-consuming to pass, and given that appropriations bills pass every year, having this in the base bill opens up our opportunity and gives us traction to get the banking protections, for example, veterans' access to medical cannabis, and downstream, hopefully, to include adult consumption, she told Leafly. Galoob also credited what she called the, quote, new generation of credible conservative cannabis champions who understand the importance of protecting the laboratories of democracy, the robust state medical cannabis programs that are flourishing. She, she commended Joyce, a former prosecutor, for his understanding of how important it is the state and federal law be reconciled to allow this industry to grow and thrive. That praise was echoed by Justin Streekel, a political director for NORML. We'd like to thank Representative Joyce for his leadership to protect the 46 states that have reformed their marijuana policies and the over 2 million patients they serve, Streekel said in a statement. Tom Angle also took to Twitter saying, this is a major, major development because it circumvents the seemingly insurmountable roadblock that the House Rules Chair Pete Sessions has thrown up, allowing marijuana amendments on the floor for the past several years. Don Murphy, director of conservative outreach for the Marijuana Policy Project, called the amendment just the latest sign that support is growing in Congress for marijuana policy reforms. Republicans are joining with Democrats to protect compassionate state medical marijuana programs from federal interference, he said in a statement. The strong bipartisan support we're seeing in Congress mirrors public opinion, as polls show an overwhelming majority of both major parties support legal access to medical marijuana. At this point, opponents probably want to avoid being on the record voting against sick patients and states' rights, which could explain why the committee held a voice vote rather than a regular vote. So basically,
cowards.
They're still not got the big oak. They don't have the cojones enough to write it down yet, but they'll say it out loud so long as, no one can say, oh, I saw him do it. They're actually saying here that marijuana is becoming a conservative issue specifically because of jobs and states' rights. A freshman Republican congressman from Virginia, Tom Garrett, says, I don't care about marijuana. What I care about is liberty, justice, and economic opportunity. He's a former state.
Good jokes.
Well, he's a
Republican.
He's a former state prosecutor and winner of the American Conservative Union's Defender of Liberty Award, and would never be mistaken for an avid dabber. He's 45 years old, and he says he doesn't care about pot. He thinks that the government should leave people who are smoking doobies alone. I love hearing stuff like that from our elected officials, though I rarely believe it. When we get back, we'll continue on with the latest in medical cannabis news for our final segment of today's live broadcast here of the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. So stick around.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
The Onion looks back at this week in history. On May 6, 1937, the explosion of the German passenger ship Hindenburg brought cheer to an entire generation of Americans in the midst of the Great Depression. The souls of the American people were fleetingly revitalized by the flame-engulfed Zeppelin and the shrill screams of burning passengers leaping to their heartwarming deaths.
Oh my, it's burst into flames! The burning embers and charred flesh are cascading splendidly onto the mooring mast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most terrific thing I've ever seen. Oh, the luminosity, the gaiety!
And on May 7th, 2000, Vladimir Putin became president of Russia after promising citizens he could bend anything they gave him with just his bare hands. And that was what happened this week in history. In the words of the Italian philosopher Niccolò Machiavelli, whoever wants to foresee the future must first look at the past and then imagine all that old stuff looking more future-y and space-like.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. My bad. Welcome back here to the Call of Freedom here on LRN.fm. Oops. Nope. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we got a red blinky light behind me and everything. I did a great job on that one, too. It was so awesome. It was the best intro I've ever done in my whole life. I did it for Daryl as he sat here in the studio looking at me going, no one can hear you on the radio in the kitchen. So, got a wonderful announcement here. Looks like Rhode Island is attempting to follow Massachusetts lead in legalizing adult use cannabis. Senator Joshua Miller, a Democrat, introduced the bill Wednesday. The proposal would create a system to tax and regulate marijuana in Rhode Island that mirrors the system in Massachusetts. Now, I'm not a tax and regulate guy unless that's tax and regulate like corn or tomatoes or, grass that you grow in your yard. But it is a step. Unfortunately, you have to pay the government for your freedom these days, is what it looks like. That's what the tax and regulate scheme is this is Americans saying, dear government, please give us our freedom. We'll pay you so many $1 billion a year for our freedom back. Just don't throw us in cages for it. I mean, and basically that's what's going. What the tax and regulate system has done is it said, okay, we know that there's X amount of marijuana users in our state, and right now we catch about 6% of those marijuana users and issue them a fine, and they pay us money. What if we could figure out a way to get all the marijuana users to pay us money? And we'll just call it a tax. And then that way it'll be like we busted all of them. But instead of that money going to the police departments and us just getting a cut of it, the state government gets the money directly. And then we'll give the police departments a cut of it. And then the police departments get really, really mad because they're not getting as big a cut as they used to do. Anyway, but
I guess that's an improvement.
Well, at least they're not throwing people in cages with rapists and murderers now over a plant. They're only, telling you, if you don't buy from state-inspected, state-approved, government, blah, 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 then we'll throw you in a cage with a rapist. But anyway, on to better news. There's an algorithm that's currently helping the San Francisco district attorney wipe out cannabis convictions. The San Francisco DA office is partnering with the nonprofit Code for America to proactively wipe out thousands of marijuana convictions using a computer algorithm. District Attorney George Gascon said in a statement Tuesday that the partnership will help prosecutors identify those that are eligible under California's revised marijuana laws. Gascon in January announced his office would dismiss and seal more than 3,000 misdemeanor marijuana convictions dating back to 1975 after voters approved Proposition 64, legalizing recreational marijuana for adults of 20 years of age or older. An effort we actually covered here on the Call to Freedom when it first happened. A handful of other jurisdictions in legal cannabis states have taken similar measures to proactively identify and expunge convictions, though in many areas, individuals are responsible for petitioning the court on their own for said relief. Many times, like in places like Florida, expunging your record can cost thousands upon thousands of dollars and massive, massive headaches in the court system. Code for America will use its algorithm to search through San Francisco's nearly 5,000 felony cases and identify those that are eligible, which will then be reviewed by a prosecutor and submitted to the court. Gascon said that the plan will require no action from individuals with convictions and minimal staff time within his office. On Twitter, Gascon stated, "Through this partnership, Code for America will for the first time pilot a product that allows a government agency to determine eligibility for record clearance under state law, automatically fill out the required forms, and even generate a completed motion in PDF format. Hashtag that was easy." That's pretty cool. According to a press release from the nonprofit Code for America, 962 motions to dismiss a misdemeanor marijuana conviction have been prepared. 528 have been submitted, and 428 have been granted as of Monday. But the company says that the felony convictions, unfortunately, take much more time to process, as they require an analysis of rap sheets in order to determine eligibility. On Twitter Tuesday, Gascon noted that prosecutors in jurisdictions from Seattle to Philadelphia have pledged to reduce or even expunge hundreds of thousands of cannabis convictions. Still, he added, many DAs that want to provide this relief have cited resource constraints in inhibiting their ability to join this common sense effort. Well, now it would seem that through the efforts of the district attorney's office in San Francisco, and
they had the money to arrest them,
right,
and hold them against their will, but not the money to erase their records.
Right, we got the resources to put them in jail. We got the resources to take them through court. We got the resources to transport them to prison. We got the resources to hold them in prison for years and years for, between $40,000 and $70,000 an inmate. But now when it comes to clearing their record, because we've changed the laws and now it seems kind of stupid to keep this stuff on these people. Now that, we just don't have the money for that, or the time, or the manpower. Because we're putting so much into throwing we got to find other people to put in jail. So, anyway.
I imagine that's probably exactly right.
To what?
That's probably exactly right. The reason they don't have the resources is because they're using them, finding, people to arrest over other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how to reset that, Chris. I guess after so many minutes, it turns itself off. And no, it wasn't Mortified Penguin. Quit being coy. Anyway. So let's see here. On Twitter again, hundreds of thousands of old marijuana convictions have been pledged to be dismissed. DAs want to provide this relief. They've cited resource constraints. Today's announcement separates district attorneys and city attorneys who say they can't grant this common sense relief with those that simply won't. Where does your DA stand? And I think that's a hell of a question to ask. I mean, in all honesty, you should. That's a very honest question to ask. Where does your DA stand? Because now San Francisco has proven with this coding program that is done through a nonprofit group. So they're not asking for your money. This is a nonprofit effort that they can go in, they can expunge these records, they can fill out all this paperwork, can do all of it without the need of your manpower. That means the only thing stopping this from getting done is whether or not you're just using, clearing these people's records as a political point to talk about in an election. Is this your Obamacare, that thing you like to talk about, but you're never actually going to get rid of, like abortion? Or are you serious? So prosecutors out there who say that they're going to clear people's records, you've got a way to get it done, and you've got to get it done fast and to get it done cheap. So let's see you follow through on your word and get some of these people's records cleared out, literally for doing nothing but growing a plant. Anyway, we've got a great show coming up for you next. Free Talk Live is coming up, so don't go anywhere.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com.